And guess what happens to Anthony Weiner? A month ago, I see he went to work for a public relations firm. Do you believe it? Now, if you think that Uma isn't telling Anthony, who she's probably desperately in love with, in all fairness to Anthony, because why else would she marry this guy? Can you believe it? Can't see straight. But if you would... Oh, this one's going to get me in trouble. Not with Hillary. You know, the president told me to stop whining. But I really have to say, the media is even more biased this year than ever before. Ever.
Public official in modern times, as far as I know.
Is this how you do it? Roping off the press and their questions from even talking to you at a parade?
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material.
Nothing that was sent at the time or received was secret.
Her defense? They weren't marked classified. They couldn't be marked classified because by not using government servers, she actually prevented the government from reviewing her emails. It is a federal crime to negligently handle classified information under 18 U.S.C. 1924. It is a federal Class A felony under 18 U.S.C. 798. She's committed a Class A misdemeanor under 18 U.S.C. 1924.
If there's a connection between Cairo and Benghazi, she said this: there's no connection between the two. Your experts knew the truth. Your spokesperson knew the truth. Greg Hicks knew the truth. But what troubles me more is I think you knew the truth. You tell the American people one thing, you tell your family an entirely different story.
When she certified under oath, quote, under penalty of perjury to a federal judge, that she had surrendered all of her emails to the State Department. In fact, she had not.
My verdict, based on the evidence, is guilty. What's yours?
The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy.
It's no secret that we're going up against some pretty powerful forces that will do and spend whatever it takes to advance a very different vision for America. Running for President of the United States.
The people want to know Hillary. The Hillary that I knew back here in Arkansas. When she was in the Benghazi hearings, when she said, "What difference does it make? They're dead."
What difference at this point does it make?
That's the Hillary I know.
We came, we saw, he died.
Hi, Secretary Clinton. Would you sign this for me?
Sure. What's your name?
If you can make it out to Christopher Stevens. I think you knew him.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it to Chris Stevens.
What difference does it make?
Here it goes, here. Yep.
Senator Clinton has extraordinary ability to obfuscate, refuse to answer questions, avoid confrontations, and up until now has been given a pass on it.
A story in the New York Times talking about why Senator Clinton voted this way, because I think some people were surprised by it. And her advisor said that she voted yes because she was moving from primary mode to general election mode. Primary mode versus general election mode? How about tell the truth mode? How about we say the same thing in the primaries that we say in the general election?
We know that Hillary's an insecure person. Secure people don't lie. They don't lie inveterately the way she does.
Hillary Clinton points to her time in the White House as a large part of her qualification for the job as president. But most of the news media has conveniently forgotten that her time as First Lady was mired in controversy.
The core of the controversy is how truthful Mrs. Clinton has been in answering questions, sometimes under oath, about Whitewater and other matters.
She was the First Lady to come under criminal investigation. In both Little Rock and Washington, D.C., she was plagued by numerous scandals.
I finally parted company with Hillary Clinton when I saw how she was using private detectives to investigate the women who were linked to her husband. Not to change him, not to reform him, not to make him a better person, but to cow the women into silence so that he could get elected president. I do not want that woman controlling the IRS or the DEA or the NSA or the FBI or the CIA. Not in a democracy, I don't.
One thing about Hillary, Bill was just a good timing guy. But Hillary, she's an animal. Hillary is the one that I promise you, she pulls the strings. She pulled them in Arkansas. She pulled them in the White House when she was there as the First Lady. And my God, if she gets to be president.
I'll tell you a couple of stories about fraud. The Bohemian Club, as you say, the Bohemian Club? That's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right? I've never been to the Bohemian Club, but you ought to go. It'd be good for you. Get some fresh air.
I know nothing about the Bohemian Grove with Bill. I know about once a month, Hillary would go out to Los Angeles. And she did it so regular that it became a bit of an issue trying to, why is she always going? Bill told me that she was going out there, she and a group of women, and she would be a part of a witch's church. And man, when Bill told me that, you could have hit me with a baseball bat. I tried to point out to him, you realize what had happened if that got out? Of course, my job is to make sure it didn't get out. Now, I don't know today if Hillary still partakes in the witch ritual. I don't know that I even know what the ritual was. But for the better part of many years, Hillary would go quite often, whether it was regularly once a month or maybe once every couple of months. She would go out on a weekend simply to be a part of it.
Hillary Clinton finally has exposed her true agenda: confiscation of guns in America from law-abiding citizens. Both she and Obama have stated that they'll use executive action if necessary to ensure gun control is accomplished. But now she's begun speaking publicly about using the Australian model as a template for American gun control. By discussing the Australian buyback, what she's making clear is that it's not just the run-of-the-mill gun control that she's after. She wants confiscation too. The left seems to be in a race to see who can push this issue farthest and fastest, since Obama made reference to the Australian gun grab a year ago, praising the move. Calling the legislation passed in Australia a buyback is deceptive. It was forced confiscation with a modest cash reimbursement to soften the blow. Anyone who chose not to accept that reimbursement and turn in their guns was subject to having them forcibly taken and facing a prison sentence. How did they know whether someone wasn't complying? Because prior to declaring guns contraband, national registration was implemented. Once the guns were registered, it was easy to force compliance. Both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have suggested that the way to accomplish this is through executive orders, since Congress won't pass such legislation. They seem to forget that the Second Amendment stands in the way of this scheme, but that doesn't seem to deter either of them. Many gun control activists falsely claim that no one is coming for your guns, But that's a lie. They already have. Remember the door-to-door confiscation of guns in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005? Remember the calls for gun confiscation by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and others in the aftermath of the Sandy Hook tragedy? Now, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have come out of the closet and made their true intentions for gun owners clear.
All the secret emails, criminal acts, cover-ups, and that sexual relationship with Huma Abedin that is whispered about in the dark corners of Washington. Hillary Clinton's State Department was a virtual pornographic and criminal enterprise. Besides the secretive relationship Clinton has with Anthony Weiner's wife and closet Muslim Brotherhood member Huma Abedin, there is a litany of pornographic peccadillos and criminal acts. Diplomatic security agents sexually attacked female guards. Clinton security agents routinely solicited prostitutes, and embassy staff were caught running a drug ring in Iraq. But the most disgusting aspect of Clinton's corrupt State Department was Ambassador to Belgium Howard Gutman, who routinely ditched his security detail in Brussels and solicited prostitutes, including minors. The Inspector General investigating Gutman charged him with pedophilia, sex with children. But all of this was swept under the rug by the corruptocrat Hillary Clinton. But Clinton, ostensibly out of government, is still pulling the levers of power. The State Department's former chief investigator, Richard Higbee, now turned whistleblower who uncovered much of Hillary Clinton's perfidy, is now suing Slick Willie's better half, and he's paying the price. It was revealed on December 30th, 2013, the same day the huge cache of NSA documents were released, that a hacker group, more than likely the NSA, stole, then deleted, an astounding 4 years' worth of Richard Higbee's emails. The emails included correspondence with other whistleblowers and included a treasure trove of documents revealing a State Department under Clinton that was corrupt to the core. Another State Department whistleblower, Aurelia Fednizen, didn't get her emails stolen. Instead, she received the shakedown treatment, a mob-like visit by State Department thugs who camped out in front of her house and harassed her children. But stealing emails and shakedown tactics was just one part of the attack against State Department whistleblowers. On June 29, 2013, in what is reminiscent of Nixon's plumbers, Richard Higbee and Aurelia Fednizen's lawyer's office was broken into, in which documents and computers were stolen, more than likely ordered by Hillary Clinton's minions. If you think Barack Obama is a corrupt president, you ain't seen nothing yet. Hillary Clinton will make Barack Obama look like a choir boy. And unlike Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton has been around the block a few times and has the keys to all the secret doors in Washington. Most notably, the door that leads to a massive electronic file on every single American. Be afraid, America. Be very afraid.
We can't sell beef. It's peanuts. And by the way, unbelievable people are coming. A lot of people that are illegal are great people. Just let's get it straight. They don't want to give it straight. Because the press are liars. They're terrible people. But here's an idea. So Mexico is sending lots of people. And by the way, they're coming from all over the world, including the Middle East. Why not? Come in. Come on in. We're stupid. We'll take care of you. We'll pay. Get sick, we'll take care of your hospitalization. What kind of a plan do you want? Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
That there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out.
Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
The premiums are going through the roof. The deductibles, frankly, you have to get hit with a Komatsu tractor in order to use them. They're so high. We just spent $1 million building a soccer field, okay? A soccer field for our prisoners that happen to be in Guantanamo, okay? I don't like that. What do you need $1 million for? Level out the surface, let them play. The Iranians are great negotiators. The Persians are great negotiators. And we have people that are babies. It's like a chess player, grandmaster, playing against a checkers child. No, that's what it is. We give them, think of it, a nuclear scientist, and they won't give us our hostages back. It's so insane. President Obama, Secretary Kerry, I highly think you should read this book quickly. Quickly!
We have very stupid people in our country negotiating for us, and we have leaders that don't know what they're doing.
You know, Jeb Bush, one of my opponents, I noticed he's not doing very well in the polls. I've actually known. And by the way, they said I won the debate. Is that nice? Is that nice? Right? The polls came out and said I won. And the media, look at all those people back there. Scavengers. They're like scavengers. They'll probably say the crowds were about equal. Oh, they were equal. But that's the way they are, very dishonest. CNN is terrible. CNN. You're with CNN? Are you with CNN? Good. You people do not cover us accurately at all. So they have a few protesters outside, and they have thousands of people, and the first question from CNN is about protesters.
So what I'm going to do is span out. Span out. Show them the crowd, press. Show them the crowd. Show them the crowd. Look, they're not turning the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras because you know what? They're very dishonest people. Because you know what they do? They have the camera, live television, on my face the entire amount. My wife goes, I go home. Were there any people there tonight, darling? They don't see. They never show the crowds. Frankly, I don't even think they give a damn about education, half of them. And I'm sure some maybe do.
Want to use that word in this form?
I will. Because people want to hear the truth, Frank. I watch you all the time. They want to hear the truth.
Correct.
Frank, we have to be able to express ourselves.
But referring to people as rapists, referring to John McCain, a war hero, 5.5 years as a POW, and you call him a dummy. Is that appropriate in running for president?
Okay, you got to let me speak, though, Frank, because you interrupt all the time, okay? So, no, I know him too well. That's the problem.
In the center of the stage tonight, businessman Donald Trump.
I would never give up my microphone. I thought that was disgusting. That showed such weakness. The way he was taken away by two young women. The microphone, they just took the whole place over. That will never happen with me. I don't know if I'll do the fighting myself or if other people will. But that was a disgrace. The way they took, I felt badly for him. But it showed that he's weak. You want to be what, vice president? Oh, now his question's no longer as good. He had great credibility until he said that. Now it's like, where did he come from? We need a leader that wrote The Art of the Deal. I said trade deals. Who would do better? I know, I'll tell you what. I know the greatest negotiators in the world. Some are horrible people, horrible human beings. Who cares? Some Wall Street guys, they're brutal, they're miserable. You wouldn't want to go out to dinner. They're terrible people. I love them. You know who's our primary representative right now? Carolyn Kennedy. You know how she got the job? 60 Minutes. She went to the White House. She said, I'd love to have a job. I have nothing to do. They said, how would you like to be the ambassador to Japan? She goes, really? You know why I say she's nice? Because my daughter Ivanka likes her. My daughter's so great. She's such a great person. My daughter likes her. She said, Daddy, she's such a nice person. I agree. I don't want a nice, I want to kill her. We're tired of the nice people. What do you need to spend $1 million? We just spent, it's a story today, $1 million on a soccer field. How do you spend $1 million doing a soccer field? You have a level piece of land. Throw them a ball, let them play soccer, if they have to play at all.
See, you're not supposed to say that somebody graduated last or second to last in their class, because you're supposed to be, like Frank says, very nice. Folks, I want to make America great again. We want to get down to brass tacks. We don't want to listen to his stuff with being politically correct and everything has to... We have a lot of work to do.
10 years ago, everybody wanted the wall. The Democrats, the Republicans, they couldn't get it. You know one of the reasons they couldn't get it? Environmental impact statements. Did you know that? There were toads. There were it's the most incredible thing. NBC calls me, we'd like to see you. A couple of months ago, the head of NBC comes to see me. And the head of NBC's boss, I don't want to mention names because they're really good people. They're friends of mine, although I probably will never speak to them again either. First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway.
Would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
But Jake,
I want to give Mr. Trump.
It's a massive plant, one of the biggest in the world. They're going to make all these cars, trucks, and parts. They're even making parts. It's so big, they'll make the parts, the trucks. And I actually gave them a good idea. Why don't we just let the illegals drive the cars and trucks right in through the border? They don't have to even, it's true. No, I gave them that. Save a lot of money. That'll be next. No, they'll be doing that next. So the Mexican government is not happy with me, to put it mildly. And again, I respect Mexico, but their leaders are too smart for our leaders because we have stupid leaders, okay? You mean it's not politically correct and yet everybody uses it? So you know what? Give me a different term. Give me a different term. What else would you like to say? Oh, you want me to say that? Okay. No, I'll use the word anchor baby. Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
He would give a sermon you never wanted to leave. Sometimes we have sermons, and every once in a while we think about leaving a little early, right, even though we're Christian.
And pledge to not run an independent campaign against that person. Again, we're looking for you to raise your hand now. Raise your hand now if you won't make that pledge tonight. Mr. Trump.
Who is Uma married to? One of the great sleazebags of our time. Anthony Weiner. Did you know that? She's married to Anthony Weiner. You know, the little bing, 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 bum, bum. I love you very much.
I'm a very militaristic person, but you have to know when to use the military. I'm the only person up here that fought against going into Iraq.
Can I make a response to that?
Just excuse me 1 second, Rand, if you don't mind, Rand. You know, you are on less, you do have your 1%.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so. I think if I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't. I could say absolutely, and everybody. I don't think in terms of that. I think in terms of let's go on and let's make it right.
Let's say that Jeb Bush or Hillary or one of these politicians all talk, no action, all controlled by lobbyists and special interests and donors. People like me from previous months, okay? Total control. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You know what that is, right? We have heads being chopped off because they're Christian in the Middle East. We have borders where people are being killed all over. The world is cracking up, and they're worried about my tone. So what would President Trump do? So I don't have money. I don't have lobbyists. In fact, I've had, in the last 2 weeks, because I've hired many of the lobbyists. That's true. I hire lobbyists. They're great. They're terrific people. They can do whatever the hell you want them to do, okay? It's true.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. Yeah. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to
get... Donald, you cannot take...
More energy tonight. I like that. Look.
I was asked the question.
I didn't want... It was my obligation as a businessman to my family, to my company, to my employees, to get along with all politicians. I got along with all of them, and I did a damn good job in doing it. Go ahead.
So...
And the poll just came out, and I'm tied with Jeb Bush. And I said, oh, that's too bad. How can I be tied with this guy? He's terrible. He's terrible. Hillary Clinton was the worst Secretary of State in the history of our country. The worst. Our enemies are a disaster. Our friends, and they hate us more. So Uma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv. No, he is. Press, what happens to Anthony Weiner? A month ago, I see he went to work for a public relations firm. Do you believe it? Now, if you think that Uma isn't telling Anthony, who she's probably desperately in love with, in all fairness to Anthony, because why else would she marry this guy? Can you believe it? Can't see straight. But if you would...
Oh, this one's going to get me in trouble. Not with Hillary. You know, the president told me to stop whining. But I really have to say, the media is even more biased this year than ever before. Ever.
Public official in modern times, as far as I know.
Is this how you do it? Roping off the press and their questions from even talking to you at a parade?
I did not.
She was moving from primary mode to general election mode. Primary mode versus general election mode? How about tell the truth mode? How about we say the same thing in the primary that we say in the general election?
We know that Hillary's an insecure person. Secure people don't lie. They don't lie inveterately the way she does.
Hillary Clinton points to her time in the White House as a large part of her qualification for the job as president. But most of the news media has conveniently forgotten that her time as First Lady was mired in controversy.
The core of the controversy is how truthful Mrs. Clinton has been in answering questions, sometimes under oath, about Whitewater and other matters.
She was the First Lady to come under criminal investigation. In both Little Rock and Washington, D.C., she was plagued by numerous scandals.
I finally parted company with Hillary Clinton when I saw how she was using private detectives to investigate the women who were linked to her husband. Not to change him, not to reform him, not to make him a better person, but to cow the...
The people want to know Hillary. The Hillary that I knew back here in Arkansas. When she was in the Benghazi hearings, when she said, "What difference does it make? They're dead."
What difference at this point does it make?
That's the Hillary I know.
We came, we saw, he died.
Hi, Secretary Clinton. Would you sign this for me?
Sure. What's your name?
If you can make it out to Christopher Stevens. I think you knew him.
Yeah, I'm not going to make it out to Chris Stevens.
What difference does it make?
Here it goes, here. Yep.
Senator Clinton has extraordinary ability to obfuscate, refuse to answer questions, avoid confrontations, and up until now has been given a pass on it.
A story in the New York Times talking about why Senator Clinton voted this way, because I think some people were surprised by it. And her advisor said that she voted yes because...
Not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Nothing that was sent at the time or received was secret.
Her defense? They weren't marked classified. They couldn't be marked classified because by not using government servers, she actually prevented the government from reviewing her emails. It is a federal crime to negligently handle classified information under 18 U.S.C. 1924. It is a federal Class A felony under 18 U.S.C. 798. She's committed a Class A misdemeanor under 18 U.S.C. 1924.
If there's a connection between Cairo and Benghazi, she said this: there's no connection between the two. Your experts knew the truth. Your spokesperson knew the truth. Greg Hicks knew the truth. But what troubles me more is I think you knew the truth. You tell the American people one thing, you tell your family an entirely different story.
When she certified under oath, quote, under penalty of perjury to a federal judge, that she had surrendered all of her emails to the State Department. In fact, she had not.
My verdict, based on the evidence, is guilty. What's yours?
The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy. It's no secret that we're going up against some pretty powerful forces that will do and spend whatever it takes to advance a very different vision for America. running for President of the United